Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ralph Williams. I am the host of the Saturday Sports Show every Saturday, 10 a.m., right here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, X, and the Kick platforms as well. We're also on Pensman Sports simulcasted on his network and the new Outlaw Sports Network as well. And, yeah, what do you want to talk about? And let us talk to you today. We got a lot to talk about, including we're going to go over Pittsburgh Steelers, former Pittsburgh Steelers, and coaches that are in the UFL. What do you see who's all doing what here? You're going to be real surprised. Also, we're going to go over the NCAA tournament, and we are going to today focus on offensive line, free agents available in the NFL, and we're going to try to get to the draft picks. All right, so we're going to do that as well as we get ready to approach the NFL draft coming up soon in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. If you've been tuning into my social media platforms, you know my thoughts on that draft up there in Pittsburgh. I have one thing to say and say only, and I'm going to say it once here, and that's it. I'm not going to say it again. Have eyes in the back of your head. That's all I got to say. And I'm not going to go no further with it here. All right? Because I know better than all. Have eyes in the back of your head. Make sure your family stays close. Don't drift away separately. So I'm not going to go any further than that to spoil your moment with the NFL draft in Pittsburgh. Okay. And also, I hope you have a lot of patience because there's going to be a lot of traffic jams. Their infrastructure is horrible up there to accommodate the traffic. So, I just want to let everyone know that as well. Again, not to spoil your time going up to Pittsburgh or anything like that, but that's just a couple of things that you need to know about if you're going to the NFL draft up in Pittsburgh. All right, let's get started with the show. Pensman Sports, welcome to the program. Good morning and welcome. How are you?
I'm good. We made it to another week, and Ralph just did a spoiler alert.
Yes, he did.
A spoiler alert. You got that right. Yeah, Well, as Luther Dupree would say on Steel City Sports World and my co-host on Sports Corner radio show, I had to take my L from the Miami of Ohio team who got blown out by Tennessee, and I took my L on that one. And I know somebody who lost a lot of money on that game, so I'm not going to go there either.
Brian.
So
I'm sorry, God. I lost the $2 million. I lost about $50 million.
All right, Brian Pettit in the new Outlaw Sports Network. Welcome, Brian, and congratulations on your new network startup.
Well, thank you. I just wanted a new change. I've had my other logo. It's actually a conversion of an Outlaw and a Tiger meeting. If you haven't checked it out, it's all on Outlaw Sports Network on YouTube. Also now we're on X, a different name, but it's still TS Media 25. So you can look at that because I can't change the handle. So, it goes through a lot of work on that, doing that. And you can find me on Facebook at Brian Pettit. So, yeah, there you go.
All right, let's get started here, guys, with the NFL or the NCAA tournament today, coming up at noon, 12:10. St. Louis versus Pensman, your Michigan team. St. Louis has actually done a pretty good job this year. They've had a good year. They're in the Atlantic 10, I believe, and so they haven't done too bad. So we'll see where they go against Michigan. Your thoughts on this game here, real quick, Pensman, because I know this affects you, Michigan. Go ahead.
We'll see how Michigan plays. They've been playing lights out. They lost in the conference championship against Purdue. They went to the Big Ten championship, lost to Purdue as a back and forth. We'll see if I'm hoping for a Michigan and Duke championship, but I don't see it happening.
Well, if my team gets their way today, and I know you and I are going to be debating all day long on this one, Duke versus TCU. This is going to be a game. All right, Brian, Duke TCU. I think TCU is going to win this game. I like Jamie Dixon. Always have. He's the head coach at TCU. I think this is where Duke meets their match. Go ahead. What do you think, Brian?
Well, as we know, Duke almost lost the other day.
Yeah,
but it was close. But I think the heads will turn. I think they'll do good. They haven't done. I mean, if you look at the Clemson game, the other day against Duke and all that, they haven't really been playing good. But I do see them winning by 10 or something. But I think it'll be close going into the second half. I mean, they but I will tell you this, Ralph. I do have Michigan, Arizona, Michigan State, and I got Houston going to the Final Four right now.
You don't have Florida?
No, I do not. And I have Michigan State to win it all. So and I have Michigan going all the way to the Final Four.
Wow.
So, but I have Duke being knocked out by Michigan State.
Problem with TCU and Jamie Dixon is he can't seem to get to the Final Four. He's been to the Big 8, or he's been to the Sweet 16, but he can't get to that Final Four. That's the thing that's haunted him for years. All right, next, Texas A&M versus Houston. This is going to be an interesting game tonight. Texas A&M and Houston. Texas A&M's not a bad basketball team. I don't know much about Houston, so we'll see what happens. Also, Texas and Gonzaga. And then also tonight, VCU, Virginia Commonwealth, who pulled out an upset. They're taking on Illinois. And also later on tonight, Vanderbilt versus Nebraska. Lots going on with this tournament today, guys. And then also tonight, High Point, who has, again, here we go, upset some teams, versus Arkansas. And you know who coaches Arkansas? John Calipari. So we're
that's right.
Yeah, I know my friend Claudia Rosano's good friends with John Calipari. So I think,
John Boyd.
Yeah, there you go. All right. I just went over all those games. Brian, go ahead. What do you think of these games? I think Arkansas takes their game here. TCU, I'm taking in here in a couple of these games here. This, I kind of like this High Point a little bit. They're starting to upset some teams. We'll see what they do, but I like Arkansas.
I'll just tell you this. I have Arkansas playing Arizona in a couple of weeks, so that's their thing. And also, look at Gonzaga. They've always played their match in some of these games. I think they're going to make a little run here. So I have them playing Purdue in the next couple of weeks in the West, and then Michigan and Texas. I have Texas Tech. I have, and then I got Florida against Nebraska. Illinois playing against Houston, and then I have Duke playing St. Joseph, and then Michigan State playing UConn. So that's where mine is right now. So that's that's in a couple of weeks. So that's what kind of the I have the Sweet 16 or something like that. So yeah.
All right, Pensman, your thoughts on these games? What's your opinion on this? Go ahead.
If Duke makes the Final Four, if they do, they have to pass the ball and not rely on Boozer so much. It's all Boozer. You watch the games, Brian. I know you watched the Clemson game, but I'm just saying it's Boozer every time. It's like every second. What will Boozer do? I'm like, come on. I know he's a top 3, but come on now. You can pass the ball and you'll be good and rebound and you'll be fine. But you just gotta rely on that. Arkansas is gonna win. High Point, you had your upset. You're not the Cinderella story. There is a Cinderella story out there, but John Calipari, he's going to get him, and they're going to take him to the next round. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be fun.
Ralph, before you go on, I got a question here for both of you guys. Have you noticed that last night's games and the last couple of days that we've actually seen teams that scored 102 points or more?
Yeah, I've noticed.
Does that concern you a little bit of maybe we've seen the top tiers coming to life because they've been blowing out some of these teams really bad with 100-something points? There's like 3 teams, I think, that scored in 102 points this week.
I know Florida scored 115 last night.
I think Michigan did too. Yeah. Michigan got close, right?
Yeah. Well, you know what, Brian? Yeah. I'm going to use the NBA as an example. if you ever notice when you watch an NBA game now, everything's over 100 points.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
it's become an offensive thing. It's like that in the NFL. But there are good defensive teams in the NFL. There are good defensive teams in college basketball, but it's mostly offense because everybody wants to see scoring. They want to see a lot of points. They want to see slam dunks. They want to see, you know what I mean? They want to see a lot of points. They want to see excitement like that. If you get a defensive game in basketball and it gets boring, people don't want to watch it, you know?
Yeah.
And, but I mean, now that's what the NCAA has turned into, another NBA where, you score like 100 points every game. And it's a big offensive thing. It's no longer a defensive thing anymore. And, but and I'll use hockey as a little bit of an example. Pittsburgh Penguins have their coach, Dan Muse. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. He has a defensive system. But if you notice, he's managed to keep the defensive system to where the star players can play in it, because I'll use an example of Kevin Constantine, who was once the head coach of the Penguins. He had a defensive system that was boring, and people didn't want to go to games to watch it. And what had happened was it got so boring that when Lemieux came back, Lemieux fired him and brought in Rich Brooks and a few other people because he didn't like that defensive boring system of Kevin Constantine. So, defense, when you play defensive games, Brian, they can get boring. And I don't think people want, you want people to watch something, and it has to be exciting. And if it's not exciting, they're not going to watch it. And then, that leads to advertisers being angry. That leads to, ratings.
Ralph, that's the same way with baseball with the pitchers duel. If they're both pitchers,
right.
This is boring. Click.
yeah, because if you're not hitting home runs, you know what I mean. But if you ever notice in baseball, and this goes on all the time, the beginning of the season, the hitters get the best of the pitchers. But then once the year starts going to the middle, then we get past the All-Star game. You notice the pitchers start taking control of everything, and the hitting starts going down. You ever notice that?
Yep.
And but that's just the way it goes, And so, and it's like that in every sport. I mean, and now you look at Seattle, who won the Super Bowl defense, okay, and the offense complemented the defense with some scoring, and that's the old-fashioned way of playing football. But nowadays, a lot of people want to see, a lot of passing, a lot of different, stuff like that. They want, they want excitement in the game. That's where we are. All right, here we go. Isaiah, what's up? Hello, Isaiah. How are you today? Welcome to the show. I guess everybody must be, being it's the second day of spring, I guess everybody's out doing spring cleaning and stuff like that, because I don't see too many people tuning in this morning. So, so there you go.
And they're probably cutting grass already. That's
right. It's
everybody's doing it.
Well, my landscaping don't start here in my plan until April. So, April to October. And then once that happens, then Isaiah says, I am good. I just got up. Well, great, Isaiah. I'm glad you got up to this show. And just a reminder to everybody.
This is 2 weeks in a row you got up for this show.
There you go. All right. Don't forget later on, 2 to 3 p.m. today, 1250 The Answer, 92.5 on the FM dial, and The Answer, PGH.com. Don't forget to tune into the Sports Corner radio show with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking, Jim Frazier, Claudia Rosano, Luther Dupree. Lots to talk about. And also, we'll talk about the offensive linemen in the NFL draft. There's some good ones in there. And, a lot of tall, lanky guys with lanky arms in the NFL draft, I've noticed. And guys 6'8", weighing 23 pounds, really good offensive linemen, the top 12 by the NFL Buzz, which gives their top 12 draft of the offensive line. We'll look that over later. And we're also going to indulge. There's not too many free agent offensive linemen left, I've noticed as well in the NFL. We'll get into that too. But next Sunday, I'll be broadcasting Ralph Reports. And also I will be broadcasting more information starting next Sunday, UFL Live or UFL Weekly. I'm sorry, UFL Weekly. The three of us here will be on, and I'm working on getting a reporter or somebody who covers UFL to come on with us after or on for the UFL live. Stay tuned to my social media platforms, or UFL Today. I'm sorry, with the time, and we'll be on every Sunday to talk about the UFL. And I know what some of you are thinking about out there. Well, UFL's boring, and you got some new teams. They got some interesting players who maybe didn't make it in the NFL that use this as a platform for them to get back into the NFL. I've seen it happen. And so, we'll see what happens. I'm interested.
Ralph,
I'm excited about this year's UFL season.
And
So,
Ralph, I'm gonna piggyback on you. If you like
Go
the
ahead.
NFL, it's football, and
It's football. That's right.
UFL's just a little calmer and less contact. So
Right. All right, guys. I forgot
different.
to tell you that we were going to talk a little bit about this. All three of us here have our universities that we cover, that we like football and basketball. I cover University of Pittsburgh. Hensman covers Michigan, and Brian covers Clemson. Spring games are coming up soon. University of Pittsburgh. Those of you who think you're going to go to the spring game at the University of Pittsburgh, think again. I've already made my comments about what's going on with the University of Pittsburgh. Once again, another bad decision made. They decided not to have fans this year show up for the spring game because of the construction of the scaffolding and the stages and the whatever for the NFL draft. I get that. Years ago, Pitt used to rent a high school stadium, and they used to have their spring games there because they didn't draw real well. Why have Big Heinz Field open if you're only going to draw 2,000 fans? So they decided to move it to a high school. So every year they pick a different high school, and they would go there and play the spring game. Why didn't you do that this year? So that people can come to the game. It's a family outing. You get to see what Pitt looks like. Well, this year they're having the spring game there with no audience, with no fans. Why would you waste all that time at Acrisure Stadium, let them get it ready for the draft, and move it to a high school stadium or something, or even have it at your Southside practice facility if you're not going to have fans? All right. I think it was a poor decision made by the administration of Pitt. They made another poor decision of not getting rid of Jeff Capel, and it's become a serious situation here with Pitt. But go ahead with Michigan, Pensman. I know they're getting ready for their spring game coming up soon.
Yeah, their spring game's April 18th, and that's going to be on the Big Ten Network. So hopefully, hopefully we can see how that team's going to be. And as y'all know, we'll see what happens with the Thanksgiving Day, with the Saturday after Thanksgiving with the Ohio State game. Isaiah is a big Ohio State fan, but we'll see if Michigan can turn things back around after that stupid loss by Ohio State. But we'll see what happens this year.
Well, let me say this about Ohio State. Ohio State this year's gonna. I think Ryan Day might get fired.
There it is.
There it is.
Arthur Smith is our offensive coordinator, and we all know about Arthur Smith.
Let's go! Congratulations to the Ohio State Buckeyes for getting that bum.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, by the way, I want to actually thank Ohio State. And anyway, I'm going to do this because I want to thank them for taking Arthur Smith off the Steelers' hands. Thank you. So there you go.
I guaranteed something too, Ralph, that the Steelers will probably average 30 points a game now.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, absolutely. With the talent they have now and the talent they're going to get in the draft. Oh, yeah. All right, Brian Clemson, go ahead. Tell us what's going on with their spring game.
Well, I don't know much about it. They've kind of been, you can see what they do on the Tiger Net, but they've kind of had they really haven't talked much, but their next weekend is going to be jam-packed. And also I got something on South Carolina. They're going to have their spring game, but it's going to be closed because they have construction too. Same way, Ralph. They're not going to have anybody in the fans too, but here's my thing is like you just said, you just talked about a high school. They could have moved it somewhere near the gate. Yeah. Yes. They moved it to where, like one of my friends, Bryce, said on the other day, they could have moved it to a local high school or a college somewhere around there. There's like Coastal Carolina they could go to, make it a beach trip, for the guys or something. They could have done something with South Carolina with construction, but because a lot of people are going to see, unless you have the stuff out there that you don't want to see about the spring game that you don't want nobody to see, but yeah, you're going to have nobody fans. So what is it going to play? I know it's spring game. I know they're going to talk about, oh, we got this, that, and that. But Ralph, you want to go to see what the team's got,
Oh, I want to see what the quarterbacks look like, the line. I want to see exactly what they have. I mean, pretty much Pitt's got a lot of their core people some of their core people coming back. They had to go into the portal. I heard they got some really good 4-star players this year. So we'll see what happens. Again, they'll go 8-4, lose another bowl game. Pat Narduzzi, his contract don't run out till 2030, another high buyout. I do know Jeff Capel's buyout, the alum went around, took a collection, and the administration went around and got money. They were able to find it. They are able to buy out Capel's contract. So if he has another bad year this year, I think this will be the year he goes. He shouldn't. If he don't, Alan Green should be fired, the athletic director, because this is 9 years in this at this, and he still hasn't done what needs to be done. And Jeff Capel, they had big high hopes for him when they got him from Duke, and he's supposed to be a great recruiter, and he brought in a good staff, and I don't know what happened. I just don't, Yeah. So we'll see. I know NIL has spoiled the broth in the soup for everybody, because now you got all this bidding wars going on. You got guys moving from team to team, no structure. I don't even want to go there. I've had enough of that. I've barked as much as I can about the NIL. So,
yeah. Good morning, Scott.
Yeah. Hey, good morning, Scott. How are you today? Thank you for participating in the show.
He lives down in Florida. One of my good friends I used to work with.
Isaiah, I like turtles too, Isaiah. I like turtles. But I've heard
fighting. I like the fight turtles.
Taking care of them.
I like the fighting turtles.
All right, here we go, guys. Top 12 NFL prospects for the offensive line. Let's get started here. And I want to go into, there is one in here, believe it or not, right at number 12. And here it is. And this is for you, Brian. Blake Miller, offensive lineman, 6'3", 317, 50.04 in the 40, 84.9 rating. Tell us about Blake Miller.
I don't know much about him because, I know he played in the offensive line, but I don't remember him making a big splash in the O-line. That's just my concern. He's actually going. He actually. I looked at some of the draft. The Pittsburgh could get him. I've seen some mock drafts where he's actually, going to Pittsburgh. But I don't know much about him. You can go look at the replays or the highlights from him, but I don't remember anything good about stat wise.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, let's go into number 11 here. And Pensman, we'll get your thoughts. Center Jake Slaughter. I hear this guy's pretty good. He is with the Florida Gators. Florida always comes up with some good offensive linemen. I know the Steelers have drafted some over the years, and I know that they have some good offensive linemen. Jake Slaughter, he's rated number 11. He is, let me see here. He's a center. The 40 time was 5.10. And he did play in the Senior Bowl, and he is 6'5", 313 or 303 pounds. Go ahead, Pensman.
I'm going to piggyback on what Brian said real quick. I don't think we'll get a center off the tree.
No,
because we just re-signed Ryan McCollum. So
Ryan McCollum's a very good backup. He's done a good job.
Because Brian said something about us drafting a center. I don't think we'll be doing that now after we re-sign Ryan. So,
Blake Miller would be a good fit for the Steelers.
Yeah.
In like the second or third round. I don't think Blake Miller's going to go. I don't think hardly any of these guys are going to go in the first round.
I could be wrong. But the guy from Florida, I think he'll do that. I think he'll be good wherever he goes. He reminds me of Pouncy, and he reminds me of Linderbaum. So I think he'll be good though.
All right, here's offensive tackle number 10. I've already seen mock drafts, Steelers taking him in the first round, which I doubt, but we'll see. If he's there, maybe we take him. I don't know. Maybe if what we want's not there, and this guy's there, Khalib Theranin,
Hi, Richard. How you doing?
6'9", from Northwestern. We'll start with you, Pensman. Go ahead with this guy. I think it's a good fit for the Steelers.
I think so too.
Hey, Richard.
Steelers need to get a good offensive line. They have been horrible ever since Roethlisberger retired. They've been old. They've been hurt. They've been
It's been what's called a mismosh. A mismosh.
Yeah.
Mismatch.
There you go. That's the word I was thinking of.
Yeah, mismatch.
They're in and they're out.
Yeah.
They're in and they're out. It's like we gotta get them. We'll see if this guy, if we get him. Hopefully, maybe this helps our offensive line woes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, let's go into. Well, go ahead, Brian. Your thoughts on Khalib Tiernan from Northwestern? He's a little slow in his 40 time, though.
He's slow at 40 time, but does he have good hands? Does he have, Ralph, what I would have wanted in a lineman? And I was thinking about this last night. Like, you got to have good footwork. You know,
yes.
when you stand up against a big defensive lineman or a fast defensive lineman, you want to hold your own. Can this guy do this? And you don't want to be on your heels. You know how you block on the offensive line is you don't want to be on your back legs. You want to be on your front, pushing back, pushing toward them. I mean, Northwestern hasn't really been that good, in recent years. And I wonder if, that's offensive line, of Northwestern is actually that good because, I mean, you could be good at the draft, but, I mean, you got to bring up your 40 time. And this year, I think the offensive line or the offensive line was actually faster in the draft. I mean, in the Columbine this year.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they are. I'm seeing some of these 40 times look pretty good, except for this kid.
Yeah.
But, we'll see.
Hey, Ralph.
All right. Yes,
Ralph,
go ahead.
Just let you know. Ralph, just let you know, Richard has a question for you. My pick is the best of the best with the Gamecocks.
Nick Harvey will be a great wide receiver. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let me see here. Let me see what this one is. Ralph, my pick, the best of the best with my Gamecocks. Absolutely. Richard, we were associated with a gentleman who used to cover the Gamecocks. And he said, sometimes they have a lot of good athletes, and they do. And I've watched South Carolina playing some games, especially when they play like NC State or something like that. I've seen the Gamecocks, and they do have some good athletes. So we're going to find out what's going on. We're going to see, who does what. I remember Butta Baker. I remember a bunch of guys that used to come out of South Carolina, some great athletes. So, I mean, there's all right, let's go into here's the guy I like. And the reason I like him is because he's from Iowa. And Iowa.
Steve Spurrier.
No. No, Iowa always has good offensive linemen, good tight ends, good running backs. All right. They always, that's the three positions they thrive in. So Dennings Dunker, 319, 6'5", 518, 5.18 on the 40 time, 85.2. I like this kid. And if I'm the Steelers, I will take him. That's just me. Go ahead, Pensman. What do you think of this kid?
Sounds good. He sounds like he's legit. And
he's coming from Iowa. Like I said, a good school for offensive linemen.
Yeah.
Brian, go ahead.
We need offense. We need offensive line.
And also, I was just looking at some of his scouting report. Once his hands land clean, defenders are locked in place, and his grip, his strength, and ability to steer blockers among the best. He sounds actually kind of good got good strengths and everything. So this might be a good kid for y'all. Footwork is trimming, blocks. This is what we just talked about with the other guy. Yeah. He's a 4-year starter, 38 career starts. Joe Moore awarded. I mean, he got awards. So this could be an interesting guy. But we always think, where is that lineman's going to go? What I've heard for recency is that there's going to be a lot of first round offensive linemen in defense this year. Not so much, we might have a quarterback in the second round, but we're always talking about offensive line. This might be a big year for the first round going offensive line,
Oh yeah, absolutely. And this is from the NFL Draft Buzz. This is where they have their top 12. That's where we're going on here, here on the Saturday Sports Show. Let's go into let's start at the top here a little bit. Francis Magula from Miami, 329, 5.30 in the 40 times 6'6", perfect size. But I don't think anybody. I think he'll go in the first round, maybe in the top 10. Somebody needs an offensive lineman, I think, before we even get to anywhere else, especially the Steelers. Let's look at. We also have. I want to go through this list because we got a lot of other things to cover. Let's get into Spencer Fano, Utah, 313, 6'6". We got a lot of great guys here with some good size. Caden Proctor, this guy's not too bad. Alabama always pumps out some good offensive linemen.
I like Proctor. Proctor was good.
Proctor's a good. Yeah, I think Proctor.
Yeah, I do too. I like him too.
Yeah, I've seen him play.
Yeah, his hand width is long.
Well, this guy is projected to be a number 1 pick. I've seen him in some mock drafts, and he may. I've even seen him in a couple where they said he was going to the Steelers, perhaps. Oga Vega Lone from Penn State, 320, 6'4", 5.35, 87.2. Very good offensive lineman. And I have one of the best NFL scouts in history. 40 years of scouting. Smoking Jim Frazier told me this kid's a good kid. He'll probably go in the first round as well. All right. So we'll see. And if he tells you that, it's right. Monroe Freeling from Georgia. They pump out some pretty good offensive linemen, except for Bumrick Jones, of course. But we'll see where Bumrick goes. And I mean Broderick Jones. He's hurt right now. Another one from Utah, Caleb Loma. There's another one there. Now, this Oregon kid's supposed to be pretty good. This Pregnon, 314 from Oregon. I know some guys who cover the Steelers for Pittsburgh said Steelers might take him in the first round or somewhere in the second, maybe if he drops. Guys do drop, guys, and we all know that in different positions. All right, let's your thoughts on the rest of these guys real quick, and then we'll move on. Go ahead. We'll start with you, Brian. Go ahead.
I mean, if you look at there's one guy that actually stands out right now that's got, and Ralph, you just talked about one of them, the kid from, let's see, where was it at? Yeah, the Spencer guy from Utah.
Yes.
He runs a 4.91. That's actually pretty quick. And then you got another one down here.
He's one of the fastest ones on this list. Yes.
Yeah. You got a couple of them that's in the 4, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that does with their speed and everything. But
I like
they got him on here. Yeah.
I like that name, Spencer Fano. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's actually a cool name.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, if you look at the top 10 where we're getting this at, I mean, they're over 300 something pounds.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's some meat right there.
Oh yeah.
Offensive line.
All right, let's move on. UFL's getting their season started. They start next week as the season opener games. We're going to go over those today as well and get you ready for our new show next week called UFL Weekly, which will be on Sunday. I will determine the time, and the three of us will be on that show as well. All right, let's go into. I want to go into UFL players. Yeah, to be determined. Right. Just stay tuned to my social media platforms. All right, UFL players on the 2026 that were once Steelers. All right. So, Brian, if you want to take a look at some of these UFL teams, and I think, see what the Carolina Panthers, the former Panthers you might be familiar with, or San Francisco 49ers, and Pennsman, of course.
Ralph, and I'll just throw this out there. I was looked at them the other week, and I didn't see really anybody that's formerly a Niners that's on the UFL. Maybe one, maybe because I was looking it up and it was hard to me to look up the thing because there's not too many 49ers that were in the UFL. I know there's about 2 that's from Clemson, but there's 2 from Clemson, but there's not many from the 49ers, and I didn't see any from. I mean, maybe I've been wrong, but from Carolina, I didn't see much of anything anyway.
They packed their bags and went to the CFL.
Yeah, there you go.
CFL.
Well, you got these all. You got the CFL and the UFL competing against each other now, and now arena football's come back again. You got it. It's actually not even called Arena League now. It's called indoor football. IFL,
which is fun too.
Bon Jovi, you're wanted.
All right, guys. Birmingham. Deion Kane, former Steeler wide receiver and kick returner, and guess who else? He just signed a new contract. Been in the UFL now for a couple of years. Anthony,
and he's from Clemson. Deion Kane. Yeah, I think he's from Clemson.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you go.
I think he is. I think I'll just look at it.
Columbus, and we're going to go over these teams, their head coaches today, and we'll go over that. Todd Haley, former Steeler offensive coordinator, is with the Columbus team, the new team. Dallas has Denzel Mims. We had him on the team a couple of years ago for a little while. I think he got hurt. Not on the DC Defenders, but on the, let me see here. Who is this here? The Houston team. Nobody's going to believe this. All you Detroit Lions fans and all the other guys. I think he was with the Bengals for a season or 2. Cam Sutton. Yeah, I can't believe what I'm hearing. He's on the Houston team. And the Houston coach is Kevin Sumlin, former Houston and Arizona coach.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is. That is. I was actually quite surprised. But here's the surprise of them all.
Okay.
The Louisville Kings, which is a new team. You ready? Benny Smell. I don't call him Snell. I call him Smell because he stinks. All right. Benny Smell is back in football, and he's with the St. Louis Kings. I can't believe Benny Smell's back. We'll see if he stinks a joint up or not, but we'll find out. Former Pittsburgh Steeler and Detroit Lions defensive tackle got himself in trouble on both teams. That's why he's no longer with both teams. Isaiah Buggs. Now, if he can stay out of the clubs, from what I understand, I think he can't help the club. You can't help the club if you're fooling around in the club and getting arrested. But that's Isaiah Buggs. And if he can stay clean, I don't know. He's with the Orlando Storm.
I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Since we're talking about former players in UFL, do you think Darius Slay will go to the UFL now that he retired from the NFL?
I would. He might. That might not be a bad option for him. There's some other guys that have retired that might go there too. They've actually resurrected their careers there, and then came back.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, he might have to do that because he stunk up the joint last year for the Steelers. I mean, he was just awful. I don't know. Maybe it was the system. I mean, he was good under Vic Fangio, and with the Eagles, he was all right. I don't think he was good, but he was okay.
I think he was better with the Lions than anything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely he was. And maybe it's the system with the Lions. And he was under Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn's a good defensive coach. I mean, but Vic Fangio is as well with the Eagles. So, all right, St. Louis Battlehawks. You guys ready? Carlos Davis. I played defensive tackle. We drafted him in the late rounds from Nebraska. And his brother also played for the Steelers, too. And then Jeff Zanika is their defensive line coach. He's been with the Steelers and many other teams over the years as well. So that's the Steelers, who are former Steelers and coaches who are in the UFL as of current right now. So there you are, guys. We're going to be covering a lot of the UFL here on this program and our new show coming up next Sunday, UFL Weekly. Okay, let's go into the coaches in the UFL. Let's look at that right now.
That's going to be interesting because there's a lot of former NFL, college, but this is going to be interesting.
All right, here we go. Let's see what we got here. All right, let's go into the coaching staff. We'll start with the Birmingham Stallions. We'll start with their staff. All right, so let's go into that, and here we are. Coaches. All right, Birmingham's coaching staff. Guess who their head coach is? It's not the Holtz kid no more. He stayed with Northwestern as an offensive assistant or some kind of consultant or something like that. Skip Holtz. It's AJ McCarron. Remember him? Guys, remember him?
Yep.
He's the head coach of Birmingham. So
He actually might do pretty good. We'll see, though.
Oh yeah, I'm looking to see.
That's the quarterback I wanted out of college. He was awesome in Alabama, but they went to the stupid Bungles.
Yeah, but he wasn't a bad backup there, Pensman. I mean,
no,
he wasn't a good backup. So
I mean, Ralph, you got to think about this. If he does actually good in the UFL, I mean, maybe he could get a good job, in the NFL or college ranks. If he does actually good, this could be actually a good stepping stone for him.
Okay, notable coaches on the staff right here. Mike Goff, offensive line coach. Mike Goff's a good coach. I'm glad that he put him on the staff there in Birmingham. All right, let's go back to the next team we're going to go into, and let's get into that right now. As soon as it comes up here we go. The power of technology. The new team, the Columbus Aviators. All right, here we are.
That's a sweet name.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, that's a good name.
Aviators. All right, they have a new team. Also, I want to bring this up real quick, and I know a lot. We're doing a sports show here, but a lot of these teams now this year are having country artists open up for them. Gavin DeGrew's opening up for Columbus. There's a few other country artists that are opening up as well, so that's a pretty interesting thing.
I think Blake Shelton's opening up with one too.
Yeah, Blake Shelton's opening up with probably Orlando. Anthony Beckett is their head coach. We'll go into him later. Columbus Aviators, you guys ready for this one? Again, Brian, you were right. Notable names. Ted Ginn Jr. Ginn Jr. is their head coach. So
that's right in your wheelhouse, buddy. That's in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, exactly. All right. And a notable name is offensive coordinator Todd Haley, former head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, former offensive coordinator with the Steelers, and former offensive coordinator under Ken Wisenhunt with the Arizona Cardinals when they went to the Super Bowl. Bob Saunders, there's the name from the past there.
Yeah,
he's
way back there.
And tight ends. He's a good coach. This team.
How many teams has he been with, Ralph?
Oh, I can't even think. I mean, he's been with a lot of them. I mean,
really?
I think Kenny Pickett's trying to catch up to him.
Oh, Kenny Pickett. Oh boy, here we go.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Kenny Pickett. There we go. Yeah.
I think Saunders was. I think Saunders was like 6 or 7 organizations. I think.
Yeah, he probably was. Yeah, he's been around. You know what the Beach Boys always say, right? I get around. Yeah, he gets around.
Yeah, he gets around.
He gets around, boy. I tell you, he really gets around. All right, let's go into. Let's see here, the next team. All right, as soon as I get it going here we go.
If it's too cold, he changes. When it gets too hot, he goes back.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. All right. Then it used to be the Arlington Renegades. They are now the Dallas Renegades. All right, they've changed their where they're at.
Oh, good. Dallas team that I can make fun of.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised this team's here because a lot of these teams that they have are supposed to be in areas where they don't have a professional team.
And I got breaking news that Stephen Jones is going to be the GM of that instead of being the assistant of Jerry Jones.
Oh, there you go. Okay, Dallas Renegades.
Jeez.
Dallas Renegades. You guys ready?
Got it.
Ready? Wait till you hear who this coach is. We all know this name. Rick Neuheisel is the head coach at Dallas.
Boy.
How about that, huh? Rick Neuheisel.
No,
That's
boy.
a blast from the past. Got kicked out of college.
Man, I thought you were going to say Jason Garrett.
No. I would like to have him as an offensive coordinator, Pensman. He's a good offensive coordinator. But see, he's smart. He's doing like Bill Cowher. He's staying in broadcasting, you know?
Yeah, I know. But he went from the Cowboys and he could coach the other Dallas team.
Okay, here, offensive coordinator for Dallas. Here's a known name, Noah Mazzone. Noah Mazzone. He's a good coach. He's there. Let me think here. Who else is in here? Scott Spurrier, Steve Spurrier's kid. There you go, Pensman.
Yeah, there you go. There's my Spurrier. There's my Spurrier.
There it is. There it is. You asked for it. You got it. And Tim Huntley is our inside linebackers coach. Tim Huntley's been around.
There you go. Yeah.
All right, guys.
There's your team. There's your UFL team.
Yeah, there you go. So
Dallas Renegades.
yeah, the Dallas Renegades. There we are. All right, let's get into our next team, the DC Defenders. All right, who won the title last year with an interim coach because their coach had to step down due to personal reasons. And Whale or Wall or whatever they call him, that rapper, will be the DC Defenders halftime concert or whatever. So just to let everyone know. And as I mentioned, there's going to be a lot of rappers and country artists and stuff. They're really going bonkers for this year's opening. Shannon Harris, head coach. I don't know much about him, but we'll go from there. Did a real good job last year with them. I don't see any notable names on here for coaches that I'm aware of. Oh, wait, Andre Simmons is their wide receivers coach. He's been around a long time. Vernon Dean, here we go, defensive backs. He's been around a long time, as far as I can see. Other than that, that's it. DC Defenders, not a whole lot with them, but we'll go into that. So there you are. All right, let's go back to this now. Okay, let's get into the next one. The Houston Gamblers. All right, Houston Gamblers. Yeah, they've been around a while too, so we'll see where they're at here. Let me get into them here. All right, let's go into this, and then we'll go into coaches. Here we go. Of course, Kevin Sumlin. A lot of you know who he is. Been around in college. Has been around. Now he's in the been in the UFL for a little bit here. He has. Let me see. Marvin Sanders is a good good coach. He's his defensive coordinator. Let's see who else is in here. I can't think of anybody else on this staff here that has any notable name. Grant Dickerson is their special teams coach. I've heard his name mentioned a few times. So, all right, but there you are there. And now let's get into the Louisville Kings. This is one of the new teams, guys. Louisville Kings. We're gonna. I think their head coach is a notable name too. You guys ready? Chris Redman. Guys, remember him from Louisville?
Oh, yeah.
Remember him, guys? Yeah, Chris Redman.
Oh, yeah.
Is their head coach. So, Jamie Sharper is their defensive coordinator. You guys remember him? All right.
Yeah.
Jamie Sharper. Steve Logan is his offensive coordinator. Not bad. Guess who his wide receivers coach is? Tony Banks. Remember Tony
That's
Banks?
An interesting one.
My gosh. Yeah, that is. But that's a good hire.
That's going back.
Tony Banks
is going back.
Yeah, this guy was in the NFL last year. Jeff Jaganinsky is their tight ends coach. So,
I know him.
I've heard his name. I think he was with one of the teams that got a new head coach, and I can't remember which one it was, but Louisville Kings look like they have a pretty good coaching staff. Here, Chris McAllister, defensive backs. How about that one? So Chris Redmond putting a really good staff together here. I like his staff.
That's actually interesting staff. They're young. What's their age? I don't know. If the age there. It seems like they're young coordinators though, really young, and I wonder if they're agents.
Well, that's the way to make it, Brian. I mean,
exactly. I'm just wondering if that's the new staff kind of a new way of the new age now is going after NFL guys because they're young though. I wonder if they're now coming back and going.
Just remember,
hey, we're going to help these guys.
Just remember, Brian. Not everybody could be like the Steelers and get the retirement club.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
just
I know.
Remember that.
Oh my God, I like that, the retirement. Yeah, there you go. All right.
Retirement.
The performance for the Orlando Storm is DJ Khaled. So I know who DJ Khaled is. I played his music when I used to do gigs. And
DJ Khaled.
Yeah, that's it. There you go. You're exactly correct. All right. Okay, their head coach is a familiar name. He coached the Arlington Renegades for a little while. Anthony Beckett is their head coach. His staff, Mark Colombo, co-offensive coordinator and offensive line. He's been around. I've heard his name. Martin Bayless, I've heard his name, special teams coordinator. Leroy Glover, how about that? Defensive line, remember him? Oh man.
Oh yeah,
Let me see who else.
he was a beast.
Oh
He was a
yeah, he
beast.
was. Oh, he was a good player. Yeah, he was. But you know what? Just because he can play, that don't mean he can coach. You know what I mean? But most
No,
guys that usually
no.
most majority can't coach. Hey, look at Mark Malone. Mark Malone never played for the Steelers very much, but you know what? Mark Malone was a smart guy, and he coached for a little while. Now he's a newscaster in Dallas, still with the TV station there. Became a newscaster. Very smart guy, just didn't play a lot. And you know, there's a lot of guys that get into that, you know, coaching and whatnot, even though they haven't played a lot in their time, but they can be a good coach, you know. So all right, let's get into the very last one. St. Louis Battlehawks, the team that draws the most fans. They sell out the most games. And St. Louis, I'm hearing now, because of this, could be an expansion team for the NFL once again. So let's see what they do. And let's get into who their coach is. All right, here. Their coach is Ricky Pearl. Everybody remembers him, right? Ricky Pearl is their head coach. Now, Pittsburgh Steeler, former Pittsburgh Steeler coach, or a backup quarterback in Cincinnati, backup quarterback in Pittsburgh. Bruce Gradkowski was their offensive coordinator when they were winning championships. So just let everyone know that. All right, A.J. Smith is their offensive coordinator. He's been around. Just to let everyone know that. Frank Gantz Jr., special teams coach. Wow, his dad was a good coach. John Estes. Here, Austin Prohl, Ricky's brother's the wide receiver coach. How about that? All right, let me see who else. Jeff Zanina, as we know, former Steeler, defensive line coach. So, all right, guys, let's break this down. Who do you think's going to win this year with their coaches and teams and things like that as we get started with the UFL?
I'm
Go
going
ahead,
to say,
we'll start with you. Go ahead.
I think Houston Gamblers have a good team. They're young, they're good. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I would think that they would be good because Kevin Sumlin's been around a while. So I mean, you know, and I hope
that's who I was thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my pick, but you can't. Yeah,
all right.
You can't take away from the New Jersey team, but
okay, we're going to go over the schedule real quick after we get Brian's opinion on the coaches. Go ahead.
I think that what we just talked about, you know, they're going to win another. I think Kevin Sullivan could take that team to a thing because, you know, he's always been up there really good. I mean, you only got a couple of teams, so, you know, you don't have the big SEC teams. You don't have the big.
Right.
This is almost like the NFL.
Yeah.
So you can win when you can.
I think Dallas and Rick Neuheisel. He's been around a long time, and he's
and you get, like you said, some of these names on the coaches. They're gonna draw attention when they get playing on the, you know, let's say ESPN and a couple of other places where they're gonna be playing, you know, on the networks. You know, some of these names are gonna be big in the future, and if they do, and it was like we just talked about, you know, being a young coach, like some of these offensive coordinators, you never know where you're gonna go, and maybe some of these NFL players that used to play. They're in their 30s now. Maybe they can get into the college ranks or, you know, go even higher of an NFL because you never know who's good watching it as a coach, a main coach, a coordinate, owner, or GM. You just never know because it's coming up to the new generation of coaches. You know, their scheme of styles. It's not like you know, because I always think, look at all the coaches now in the NFL. They're getting older. So, you know, we talk about, like, even in the girls' selection, the ladies, you know, don't forget about them too. You know, they got their own little thing going on too. There's some incredible ladies that would be very involved in some of this NFL, UFL.
I think San Francisco has a woman coach or somebody, right?
I think somebody does. I haven't.
Yeah.
I know there's a lady that just signed.
San Francisco, or maybe I'm wrong. You know,
so I think it's another lady somewhere, but I can't remember where I think she just signed somewhere.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember that.
I know there's a lady referee. I know that.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right, guys. The schedule coming up for this week is going to be pretty interesting. Friday, the season opener, 8:00 p.m. Birmingham Stallions versus the Louisville Kings. Saturday, 12 noon Eastern Time, DC Defenders versus the St. Louis Battlehawks. That's going to be a really good game. You got two rivals playing each other. Houston Gamblers versus the Dallas Renegades on Saturday, 4:00. And we'll go over all these games for Sunday's show. But here's the kicker, though. Sunday night, they're now playing Sunday night games. So we're going to have to figure out how we're going to schedule this. The Columbus Aviators versus the Orlando Storm and the Columbus Aviators. So those are your games to start the new UFL week coming up next Sunday, the UFL Weekly, as we get the season going. Next week, we're going to talk about this week's opening season. Opening games are coming up for baseball this week. Major League Baseball's getting started. I'm working on trying to get somebody on here.
Finally.
Baseball, yes. And then next week, we'll indulge into that. And we're going to get into defensive linemen in the draft. We have a lot to talk about next Saturday as well here on the Saturday Sports Show every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 11. Go ahead.
I got something to tell you. Paul Skeens is the starter, opening day starter for the Pirates. Just let you know. That's
great.
Obvious, but they just
that's some good news.
They just announced it yesterday.
Okay, let's get into some announcements here. What's going on with RW Media Productions and Pensman Sports, and also Outlaw Sports Network announcements here. But first, don't forget.
Hey, Ralph. Before you put that up,
yeah, go ahead.
Here's the ladies that actually are in the NFL as of right now. There's 6 of them.
Go ahead.
So I just posted it. If you want to put the screen up, and the names on them.
Hold on a minute. I got to find it here. I'm not real good with that stuff. Maybe you can do it. I don't. Okay. Where's it at here?
It's this. It's on the comment.
It's the very last comment.
Oh, in the comments.
Yes,
yeah.
Okay.
The very last one.
All right, there we are. There it is. Caitlin Buskey of the Bushlicki or something. Yeah, there we go. Allison Haley of the Chicago Bears. Genevieve Humphrey of the Carolina Panthers. Maura Javadfor of the San Francisco or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Autumn Lockwood of the Philadelphia Eagles. Wow. There we go.
So there we go.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, by the way, I wanted to let everyone know, why did John Gruden and Tony Dungy leave the Buccaneers?
Wow. Why they leave the Buccaneers?
Yeah, because you want to know why? At the time, Corn was a Buccaneer.
Because
Jeez.
Corn was a Buccaneer. All right. All right, let's get into our announcements here so we can wrap things up here. All right, let's do it. And what's going on in our world here? RW Media Productions, Pensman Sports, and the Outlaw Sports Network. All right, here we go. This afternoon, don't forget 2 to 3 p.m. 1250 The Answer, 92.5 on the FM dial in Western Pennsylvania, and online at theanswerpgh.com, and also Google. Scroll down to Radio Stations USA, click the 1250 The Answer, and you can tune into the Sports Corner radio show with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier, Claudia Rosano, and Luther Dupree. All right. Also, starting April 4, Saturday, April 4. You guys ready for this?
Drum roll, please. Drum roll.
Here we go. All right, here we are. All right, I'm going to do that instead. Okay, but here we go. Here it is.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, 7 a.m. starting Saturday, April 4, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. I will make my debut of the Ralph Williams Show on 93.5 The Beach down here in the Delmarva area. As you know, we're in Studio 10 here in Berlin, Maryland, near Ocean City. And 50,000 watts. And I want to send this out to KDKA Radio in Pittsburgh, because you 50,000 watters there didn't bother to give me the time of day. Well, guess what? This station did. And I'm going to kick butt and take names in the Delmarva area. So I will be debuting the Ralph Williams Show here starting on April 4th, which will be now the weekend of Ralph Williams, not the Saturday triple header of Ralph Williams, because don't forget, every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., and Sunday morning, 10 a.m. to 11, here it is. 50 The Answer, 92.5 on the FM dial, and the answer pgh.com. Don't forget that. And then also on Wednesday, 3 to 4 p.m., this coming Wednesday, live call-in show. Don't forget. 60 a.m. WWDB, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We'll be doing a live call-in show. You can call in and talk to me every fourth Wednesday of the month. We do that as well. And please don't forget about the Sports Corner show. That's every Tuesday, 4 to 6. We're on 2 hours. Wrestle Talk will be back after the draft. We're on for 2 hours to talk about the draft. I have some guys coming on this Tuesday. I'll keep you informed on my social media platforms. We may go back to 1 hour because I'm having a very difficult time getting guests on. So for the draft, so we may go back to 1 hour coming up soon. So that could happen because right now I had to cancel my show on Tuesday because of an emergency. So last minute emergency came up, and so that's what happened there. Okay, guys. Closing remarks and wrap it up here. Tell everybody they can get a hold of you. Start with you, Pensman. Go ahead.
New York Yankees play the baseball this week, so get ready for that. Get ready for baseball. Get ready for March Madness. If your team's out, still continue watching. But it's been a great tournament. It's been up and down. There's been a couple upsets, couple obvious, but it's been a good tournament. You can find me on Pensman Sports. Please help me. So please subscribe to my channel. Try to get to 2,000 by the end of the year. So a lot of things coming.
All right. Okay, Pensman Sport. Or I'm sorry, Brian Pettit. Go ahead.
Oh, you can find me on multiple platforms, YouTube and everything. Now that everything's changed over to Outlaw, you can find me on the Outlaw Sports Network 1 on YouTube. And my email address, if you anytime when you want to email me, it's Brian Pettit on the radio.com. Brian Pettit on radio. That's at gmail.com. So that's where you can find me.
All right. Today, Pirates play spring training, and then they have spring training game on tomorrow. Monday, they have their first. I believe Monday is their first game, their first regular season game. I believe is the Mets. They play the Mets on the 26th, which is Thursday. They play the New York Mets. That's the home opener for the Mets. Going to be an interesting game. Paul Skeens, as Pensman mentioned earlier in breaking news, will be involved in that as well. Also, one other thing I wanted to tell everybody, starting April 1st, I'll be bringing back the Ralph's Opinion Show along with the Way I See It, the Marva edition. Here we go with that. But before that, we'll be doing the Ralph's Opinion Show. Here it is. That'll be every Wednesday, 7:30 start time. That starts April 1st, April Fool's Day. You can get a hold of me on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, X. Also, I'm on the Tumblr. I'm also on the TikTok and Instagram and all the social media platforms. Don't forget to like and subscribe to all of our social media platforms as well. Don't forget to check me out on radio. I will be in 3 cities with the Ralph Williams Show from now on. Pittsburgh. Don't forget my shows in Pittsburgh as well as Philadelphia. Support RW Media Productions. And if you're interested in any sponsorship advertising, check out the ticker take at the bottom, and we'll get you set up with some great radio advertising. And real soon, we're going to go back to advertising here on the podcast. Also, don't forget to check out my website, www.rwmediaproductions.com.
Hey, Ralph, I got breaking news after you're done.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I got the Wilkes-Barre Penguins clinched playoff berth last night. So just want to let everybody know
great
that.
news.
So the baby Penguins clinched their playoff spot.
The baby Penguins. All right. There we go. All right. Yeah. And the Penguins are number or
we'll see. We'll see if,
second in the division here. So, the Metropolitan Division. So we'll see where they go. All right, for Benjamin Sports and Brian Pettit, I am Ralph Williams. Until next Saturday, please have yourself a great one. And by all means, please be safe. Thank you.